Khun Thaksin said that those against him are people who lost because he was in power, and that he tried to democratize Thailand, he tried to bring justice to Thailand, he tried to make things equal. Those who were affected by his good intention are now up against him. So anyone criticizing him is someone who lost something because of his intention to do good for the country.
First of all, I may accept that Khun Thaksin might have had good intentions. It is possible. I do not know the man. I can only judge the man by his actions.
Yeah.
And his actions were to bring all the power and everything underneath him where he was the boss. Now, the second thing is, so in that sense, Khun Thaksin admits what he did.
Yeah.
He is admitting that he took power away from other people. That will create a negative reaction.
Right.
But he says, I think he says, it was right and just that I take power away from those people.
Yes.
Because they were greedy people, they were bad people.
Right.
They didn't have, they were aristocratic, they were elite, something like that.
Yes.
They didn't care about
Ahmad.
They were Ahmad.
Yeah.
Well, who had more Ahmad? Thaksin had more Ahmad. He is the man of Ahmad. He is not a man of Barami. He is a man maybe of Wasana. I mean, he's got some Wasana. He's a dedicated. He doesn't have Barami. He doesn't have good values. Oh, I'm sorry, Khun Suthichai. When I say he doesn't have Barami, I use the word the old-fashioned way.
The old-fashioned way, right?
Because now I think one of the problems is the Thai people. They now use the word Barami to mean mingle. I mean Barami. Huh?
That's right. That's not the original meaning.
That's not the good. That's not the true meaning.
Yeah.
The true meaning of Barami is you have some kind of good education, moral foundation. Your past life, you were a good person. So you're born
sort of moral authority.
Moral authority, moral legitimacy, which comes from self-control and respect for others.
Right.
So Thaksin doesn't have Barami. He's got Wasana, so he needs power. He's got to take power away from people. The American anthropologists call Thailand a loosely structured social system.
Loosely structured.
Which means Thai politics and power has always been loosely structured. Thailand has never been a dictatorial system like the Russians or the Germans or something else like that. For the Thai monarchy in the old days, the system of the Wang Na, which means there was always flexibility. Thai politics has always liked flexibility. If one patron fails, another one comes up. So the Thai elite, from my point of view, has been a fluid, open, flexible elite. Sometimes you're in power, sometimes you're out of power. New families come up. I remember it started with Sarit. Thais from poor families who went abroad to get a degree, Harvard, MIT, Oxford, would come back, and Sarit, who was not well educated, but a smart man, he said, okay, I make you director general, I put you in the head of this. The Thai system, even under the military dictatorship, was bringing people in, moving them up, as long as they sort of worked hard for the people. Now, I'm sorry, there's also something I feel a need to say, because my family has really cared about Thailand, so I'd like to speak as, not just being mean or something, but General Prem. The contributions of General Prem in the 1980s, I think, were very constructive. And I think General Prem also deserves some appreciation and respect for what he's an older man now, but he, moved Thailand in the period of half democracy. He took over from a tradition of violence a little bit, military dictatorship, and he moved Thailand towards half democracy. That was an evolution. That was an important evolution. If Khun Prem had not done that when there was the crisis of 91-92 against General Sujinda, there would have been no middle class, because General Sujinda thought he could win with a coup. And he was surprised. He pulled a coup, and now suddenly the Thai people, they don't like it because there's been a change. Who helped that change happen? It was when General Prem was Prime Minister. And I think there's one factor in 1976, after the repression of the student of the left-wing government, and the Tenin government came to power. I brought together some of my friends, David Zanton, Bill Bradley, Dave Morrell, and we wrote a book called Thailand, domino by default.
Yes, I remember that.
We wrote this in English, and just for our American friends.
Yeah.
Anyway, without our permission, it's translated into Thai.
Right.
I have a copy. It's a little book about this big.
Yeah.
It's got pictures of the students being beaten. It's translated into Thai, and I'm told it was read by General Kriang Sak and all his friends.
That's right.
And they said, not going to happen. So they pull a coup. They remove the conservative government. They come to power. They write a constitution, and they move Thailand forward.
And they got the students back from the jungle.
And later, and so I think our little book may have helped Thailand move away from...
By default.
By default. Move away from confrontation.
Yeah.
Towards an evolution.
But at that time, you really believed that the domino theory was in action?
I really thought, I wrote the part of the paper that was how... Because that day you had the communist challenge and flight capital and it was still a polarized society.
Yeah.
The dynamic which we had seen in Cambodia and Vietnam and Laos is the elite uses military power, but it cannot be successful, and then they begin to be fearful. When they get fearful, the money leaves.
Yeah.
When the money leaves, the economy goes down. When the economy goes down, the poor people join the communists, and the communists take over the rural areas, and they win.
So your theory was proved wrong?
Because the Thai stood up and did a good thing.
So you're happy you were wrong?
I'm very happy I'm wrong.
What is wrong now with Thailand?
Khun Thaksin has too much money and too much ambition. And he can attract around him people who want power. And they will try to find points of unhappiness. They will try to find arguments so they can pull it together and destabilize things. And this makes me very sad.
Did he come back?
I don't know what to say. The previous leaders accepted their defeat and they stayed abroad. If he comes back and he gives up his money and he apologizes, then maybe he should be pardoned. But then I think he should agree no more politics and no more trying to make a lot of money. He should. I think if Khun Thaksin comes back, he should, with all seriousness, he should put on the robe. He should become a monk. He should learn how to meditate, and he should learn Buddhism and become a better person.
His supporters have asked for royal pardon for him. Do you think that should be granted?
If a person shows contrition and remorse and admits mistakes, I think Buddhism is a compassionate religion. The Thai, I think, are a forgiving people, and a pardon would make sense. But if a person is using the request for a pardon for political reasons, to destabilize, to polarize, then that's not really the right moral grounds. A pardon rests on ethical grounds and moral grounds. It should not be political. It should not be a political football, as we say. And so I would think that if the pardon was done in the right way, disassociated from rallies of red shirts and demands and this, then there's a stronger case for the pardon. But if the pardon is being used as part of a political campaign of intimidation and to claim that he's a victim, then there's a question. And I would just put it on the side. I just sort of put it on the side for a while and wait and see what happens to the man. What kind of a man is he?